Welcome back, bigots. This video will be focused on Daniel Vavra and his infantile behavior regarding the release of Warhorse Studios' sequel to Kingdom Come Deliverance. To give you a brief summary, Daniel Vavra has been on the offensive both before and immediately following the release of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. His posts have sparked significant controversy, largely because his stance on the game's main character and its subject matter has taken a complete 180-degree turn. Gamers are justified in questioning why these shifts, which we will discuss, have occurred. This inquiry is crucial, especially when one considers Vavra's previous statements, which only serve to further complicate the narrative. First, an account by the name of Learning the Law, otherwise known as Manga Lawyer, posted a few of Daniels' previous statements regarding the development of Kingdom Come Deliverance, and Daniels' gaslighting. But there are two statements that require attention because you, my dear viewer, will notice how much Daniels' opinion has changed over time. In the first post, Daniel asks an important question regarding the right Europeans have to their own history and heritage. Daniel follows up by asking a simple question, and that question is, do Europeans really need to involve other cultures when we tell stories of our own heritage? Daniel was simply highlighting the unnecessary compulsion to inject DEI traits into anything involving European history. This has been a problem since the inception of DEI. European-centered history is not allowed to be singularly European. It must, for some inexplicable reason, combine literally any other culture in addition to European culture. Meaning, European culture is not allowed to tell its own story. It must include everyone else. This should remind you of what happened during The Witcher 3, when the racist left started caterwauling their collective disdain for CDPR for not bowing to their sacred cow of diversity. And why should they? Are the Polish unallowed to express their own stories, in their own culture, in their own way? But that's not all. Someone at Warhorse Studios decided to reply to a comment on YouTube regarding Henry, the main protagonist. It was explicitly stated that Henry already has a backstory defined and established. Even though this comment is 8 years old, we still get a look into how staunchly Warhorse Studios cared for its main protagonist. The reply explains that Henry is the son of a blacksmith. He is clearly a white man from medieval Bohemia. He is heterosexual and Christian. Additionally, Daniel himself asserted that there is no need for black people to be involved in his medieval Bohemian game, mostly due to historical accuracy. Daniel even goes as far as to ridicule the premise of black people being involved in medieval Bohemia, calling it revisionist himself. These are all important details to remember as we look at Daniel Vavra's position regarding Henry and his game now. After a couple of leaks from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was shared over the internet, Vavra decided to try his hand at gaslighting. Among the many idiotic responses you can read from Daniel, these are the most astounding. Vavra sneers, "The most comical of the recent conspiracy theories I hear every day is that Embracer was bought by BlackRock and they forced me to put DEI in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Here's official ownership structure of Embracer. Do you see BlackRock anywhere? And wait when you find out who Savvy is. Ooh." So snarky of you, Dan. But notice how he only mentions BlackRock as if that is the only option available to disprove his asinine argument. Oh, but look at what we have here. Vanguard. Vanguard also happens to fund DEI-related initiatives. I must say, Vavra, I was expecting better gaslighting than this. But wait, there's more. Do you remember how I told you Warhorse Studios literally have written claims of Henry being Christian? Well, I find it odd that Vavra decided to mock Christianity, as he insinuates that the three magi engaged in homosexual acts. Not good, Daniel. Not a good look at all. The response to this madness has been educational. I have read a few varying degrees of cope, but there's one sentiment that really solidifies the arrogant delusions that exist with these people. Here are some of the responses you will find on X. It's a personal choice, you bigot. Your fingers push the buttons. And my personal favorite, which can be easily inferred, why are you so bothered by options? Just ignore it. I mean, they're just options, right? The sentiment that the liberal left wants you to simply be an adult and ignore the gay romance is the cruelest of ironies when you consider that these are the same people banning mods that offend their delicate sensibilities. I'll say it again. The same people demanding you grow up and accept optional gay romance scenes are the very same people removing every mod they deem unacceptable, and only because they don't like it. As I have said in previous videos, these people are tyrants. In conclusion, some gamers aren't bothered by the gay romance options in and of itself. That is clear by the runaway success of Baldur's Gate 3. When you give a player the option to engage or ignore certain aspects of a game, we can appreciate that compromise. But what we are bothered by is the inability for a studio to simply stand their ground, especially when it comes to being straight, white, and even Christian. This studio claimed, in writing, that certain aspect of the story was to be accepted because of the historical significance. Daniel Vavra once passionately argued in favor of his, or the studio's, vision of their game. He argued that Europeans are allowed to create art that depicts or represents their own people without the childish necessity to bemoan racism or inclusivity. But that all changed for reasons that we all assume are related to a payout by some DEI-infested entity. After all, we have just come in contact with the reality that the feminist frequency was paid off. So it only suggests, we're being pretty reasonable when we just suggest maybe Vavra took some money. And we're going to find out when and where, Vavra. We're going to find out eventually. That's all the time I have for this video. Do all the regular social stuff. Like and subscribe. Find me on Gab or on X. I'm a fun guy. Hit me up. And until next time, have fun.